Hey guys, my name is Sid. Welcome to another vlog. Today we're going to be checking out the Xbox Series X. This thing just came out today. This is the start of the next generation of gaming. So today we're going to be unboxing this thing, checking out some of the games, seeing how much of a difference it makes. Now, I'm a big gamer, but I haven't really upgraded my Xbox since the original Xbox One. So I never got the Xbox One X. So for me, it's going to be a pretty big upgrade from my Xbox One to the Xbox Series X. So let's quickly have a look at the box and see. They've got Master Chief on the back, but they aren't releasing Halo this year. Was looking forward to Halo Infinite, by the way. Hopefully it should come out soon. And so that's a quick look at the box. Now, Xbox is doing a great job with their Game Pass program, and I've been playing a lot of stuff on Xbox Game Pass, so that's why I decided to pick up the Series X. I'm getting a PlayStation 5 as well, so I will compare them eventually. But today is Xbox Day, so let's check it out real quick. I'm going to be playing Assassin's Creed Valhalla. That game has been upgraded for the Xbox Series X. We'll check out Gears of War 5. I played that game before on my Xbox One, so we'll see how much of a difference it makes. So to really take advantage of these consoles, you need to have a 4K TV. So I did a video about the new TV I bought for these new consoles. I'll leave a link up here. You guys can go check that out. So unless you have a 4K HDR TV, don't buy one of these consoles. They're not really going to do much for you. The main advantage of these is the 4K, 60 frames a second, SSD speed, so all the games are going to load much faster. Okay, let's do this. Wow, that is cool. That's a nice unboxing experience, man. I like it. It's pretty heavy. Okay. Let's keep this aside. Beautiful packaging, by the way, I must say. So let's check out the console. It says power your dreams. Man, it feels heavy. Here we go. This is the Xbox Series X. It is definitely heavy. It's dense. Feels like a small form factor computer. This is the Blu-ray drive over here. Got the Xbox logo over here, which you can use to turn on the machine. At the back, we've got two USB ports. We've got the SSD memory expansion slot. We've got a gigabit Ethernet port over here, power, and then HDMI out. So you don't get optical on this thing, which is unfortunate because I use optical headphones. So we'll have to figure that out. So this is the top of it. It looks really cool. I like the design of it. So this green that you see is not a light. It's actually just painted on the inside of the holes. So this whole top part is the ventilation for the system. So on the front, you've got a USB port as well. It's a pretty simple design. I like it. There's no USB-C on this thing. That's kind of curious. You'd think you'd be able to plug in a USB-C SSD into this, but I guess they want to keep that proprietary. In the box, you also get the controller, power cable, an HDMI 2.1 cable. If you want the full output of this system, you do need to use this HDMI cable 2.1. My TV unfortunately doesn't support 2.1, but if you want 4K 120 frames a second, then you need this. I'm not that interested in 4K 120. 60 Hertz should be good enough for me. My TV does do 1440 at 120. So we will have a look at 120 frames a second gaming, but not in 4K. First impressions, it's a bit more grippy. It feels slightly smaller. It feels more compact. Let me just quickly compare this to the old Xbox controller. This one, I think the new one's slightly lighter, which is good. The D-pad feels solid as well. I like the way the D-pad feels. Buttons, very similar feeling. Triggers feel similar. So, I mean, they're very, very similar controllers. Almost looking identical. This is the new one for the Series X. This one is for the original Xbox One. I like it, but it's nothing revolutionary or new. It's in fact, this same controller will work with the Xbox One as well. It does have an additional share button, but nothing more to talk about over there. Xbox's strategy with this whole console has been to make it feel like a part of the Xbox family. So it doesn't feel as much of a generational shift as probably what PS5 is going to be doing. With their new controller, new UI and everything. This has a very similar UI to the Xbox One, which we'll be seeing in a bit. And still, they don't have any games that are exclusively running on the Xbox Series X. So I don't know whether the full power of this console is being utilized right now. All your existing games, most of them are ports of Xbox One games, and they're just running much better on the Xbox Series X at 4K, 60 frames a second. So since I have the better TV, I decided to go for this. My Xbox One doesn't do 4K at all or HDR. I do believe that in the future, we're going to see some exclusive games for this. And because of Xbox Game Pass and how good the service is, that's why I decided to go for this thing. Microsoft recently procured Bethesda, so they're going to get a lot of Bethesda games coming to Xbox Game Pass, if not exclusively to the Xbox platform. So I definitely want to play the next version of Skyrim or whatever that is, Starfield. I'm a big fan of their games. So if they're going to be exclusive on the Xbox, I wanted to have the Xbox Series X. So anyway, let's go check out what the games look like on the Series X right now. I'm going to hook this up over here and let's have a look at next-gen gaming. So super simple setup there, just plugged in power and HDMI. And let's put this thing on for the first time. Cool, so my TV's automatically recognized the Xbox and is setting it up for deep color. Now the OS itself seems much more snappy than what you do. Whoa, this is quick. So right away you can tell the difference. Okay, I'm gonna buy Valhalla right now. $109. Okay, I'll just get the normal. What? I just want the regular edition. Okay, I'm just gonna see what's on Game Pass. I'm not spending $99 on Assassin's Creed Valhalla and getting ripped off. Microsoft, Ubisoft, what the hell? So I definitely want to check out the Gears 5 version of Xbox Series X. Oh, I definitely want to play Doom Eternal as well. So let's install that. So this is what I love about Xbox Game Pass. It just allows you to experiment and check out games that you might not have bought otherwise. I still can't believe they're not letting me buy a version of Valhalla. All right, I have like a 500 Mbps connection and this is currently downloading at about 45 Mbps. I don't know whether it's Wi-Fi or my network. Let me try plugging it in directly to my router. So Gears 5 is a 71 GB file and it's only finished about 4% of it. So it's going to be a while before I can play any of this stuff. So let's see all the games that are optimized for Series X. So we've got Watch Dogs, Assassin's Creed, Forza Horizon. Okay, let's check out Forza Horizon as well. So there's not too much that you can play with on Xbox Series X yet. So this is going to take a while to download. With a wired connection, I'm getting slightly better speeds, maybe 100 Mbps. Okay, while this is doing this, let's quickly look at what settings we have available to us. The system is definitely quicker than the previous Xbox, that's for sure. Like navigating stuff is super fast. Yep, I'm at 620 Mbps download speed, so not sure why it's taking so long to download the games. Okay, quickly let's have a look at the resolution settings. So my TV is capable of doing 4K 60 frames a second, 1440p at 120 frames a second. So let's see what happens. So it's giving me a 120 hertz option over here. So let me try that out. It's saying that my TV doesn't support this resolution, so change the resolution. So I'm getting 1440p output, and it's giving me options to go 720, 1080, 1440 or 4K. If I try to switch back to 4K, it says it's going to change the refresh rate. That is what I expected, and that's good. Like, the Xbox is capable of, figuring it out. So this is like giving you a guide. So my TV supports Dolby Vision, HDR10, 4K 10-bit at 60 hertz. So perfect. So that's a good, easy way to kind of figure out what your TV is doing. And keeping track of all this stuff these days with all the TV stuff going on, it's hard to do. Alright guys, it's the next day now, and all my games finally downloaded. I was playing a little bit last night, and today morning I checked out a few games, but I'll show you guys today. I did end up buying Assassin's Creed Valhalla. I found it, I think it was a glitch in the Xbox Store system, but they did have the $59 version of it. So let's check out now what some of the games look like, and I'll give you my impressions. Let's see how long it takes to turn on the TV. So the TV is already on, and we are already ready to play. Okay, so let's check out Assassin's Creed Valhalla. Now, one cool thing about the Xbox Series X controller is that it actually has a place where you can plug in your headphones. The previous controller did not have that, so it was one of the reasons I was using an optical out. It's not wireless, it's not the best solution, but it's not bad. Sound quality is pretty good. So first of all, Assassin's Creed Valhalla, 4K, 60 frames a second. It's very noticeable. I was playing Odyssey before this on the PS4 Pro on a non-HDR 4K TV. This looks insanely detailed. And the 60 frames a second definitely makes a difference. Like when you move around, when you're running, overall, just the detail of everything, the HDR, the sky basically looks fantastic. Another thing, the draw distance on this is far more than what I remember on Assassin's Creed Odyssey. Like you can see trees in the distance, real detail. And the 60 frames a second definitely makes a difference. Like, you do feel everything looks a bit more smooth. The amount of detail in the foliage and stuff is also quite a bit more. Is this something that's gonna change the game completely? No, you're probably gonna play this just fine on a PS4, Xbox One, or Xbox One X. But it's just going to not have the same amount of fidelity in terms of graphics and performance in 60 frames a second. It is really nice to play in this smooth frame rate though. One thing I did notice is there is a little bit of screen tearing sometimes when you're like swinging the camera around quickly. I don't know why that is. This TV of mine does not have VRR. So that might be the issue. You might want to get a TV with VRR because I do see some screen tearing. Amazing graphical fidelity, I must say. And loading screens are like super fast. 3-4 seconds to get into the game. Okay, let's switch games. So Xbox has this new feature, Quick Resume, where you can switch between games. I was playing Forza Horizon 4 on this. It looks phenomenal. I never really played the last game, so I have nothing to compare to, but this is running at 4K 60 frames a second as well, optimized for Series X. And this is the quick resume feature. So there it didn't work, but you can see the Xbox detects my screen, turns everything. Just look at this, it looks phenomenal. That's how quickly the game loads. And now anytime the game is like reaching out to the network, it slows down a little bit. So I don't know why Quick Resume didn't work over there. It's working great with Valhalla. So I'll show you guys that in a bit. So this is how seamlessly they put you into the game, like so cool. In gameplay now, this is super smooth, 60 frames a second. The level of detail is amazing. The HDR in this game looks phenomenal. Like, just look at the particle effects and stuff. Really cool. This is definitely the most impressive looking game that I played on this so far. And you don't see any texture popping. So this is a fantastic experience on the Xbox Series X. Now let's check out Gears of War 5. Some reason Gears of War 5 is also not working with the quick resume feature. I don't get it. Maybe it's because of the network features and stuff, but you guys can see how quickly it loads. So, and the Xbox is automatically switching the TV into like gaming mode, instant game response, all that. But this is again 4K 60 frames a second. I was playing a little bit yesterday. The jump in graphical quality and smoothness from the original Xbox One is crazy. It feels like a different game. Okay, so now you guys should be able to see how quickly the game loads. Okay, check this out. This is the loading screen. And we're in the game. So this used to take maybe like 30-40 seconds in the previous generation. Gears of War, like, I finished the campaign. So I'm quite used to playing this, and this is a significant change. Definitely playing on some insane difficulty level. Okay, so now let's try switching back to Forza. Okay, I don't think this is doing instant. I think it's because I haven't gotten far enough into the game where I've got a save point. Yeah, this is reloading it. Let's try going back to Gears. So yeah, I don't know why it's not working, reloading the game, but now let's try Assassin's Creed Valhalla. And this one, you can see quick resume in the top of the corner over there. And now we're back in the game. Like, this is amazing. If this actually works well, like, you can instantly switch between games. So that's a big quality of life improvement. Now let's see how some last gen games look. Do you think a game like Gears of War would have quick resume, considering it's one of the flagship features of the Xbox Series X? I'm sitting like super close to the screen, as you can see, just to see how much detail you can see. And yeah, I mean, gaming in 4K, native 4K, 60 frames a second is amazing. Why does every game want you to sign in, man? So annoying. So Xbox Series X is just handling this flawlessly. 4K 60 frames a second, I think. It looks super smooth. Okay, so this is a single player campaign. Let's see whether quick resume works. Back to Assassin's Creed. Like, I'd say 7-8 seconds back in this game. Switching back to Doom. Quick resume does seem to be working on this. And about 7-8 seconds again, and you're back in the game. So this is really cool. Like, if you want to switch around between games, I don't know why it's not working on Gears, and this it seems to be working really well. And that's a great feature. So anyway, let's talk about my impressions of the Xbox Series X now. It doesn't feel like a huge change. If you're coming from something like a One X, probably don't upgrade right now. There are no games on it that are exclusive to the Series X. Anything you can play on the Series X can also be played on the Xbox One or the Xbox One X. I would say don't upgrade unless you're a serious gamer. Even if you have an Xbox One, I don't really see a huge need to upgrade. There are two reasons why you might want to get the Xbox Series X. One is you have a really nice new TV, 4K HDR TV, and you want to see what that TV can do, then get the Series X. If you care a lot about load times and you just want the most smoothest and best experience for any game that you're playing, then get the Series X. Other than that, I don't see any reason to get the Xbox Series X. Now, my old Xbox wasn't capable of doing 4K or 60 frames a second, so that's why I decided to get the Series X. But overall, I think it's not that big of a change. Now, maybe in a few years, maybe by the end of next year, we will start seeing some games that are specifically made for the Xbox Series X, taking advantage of that SSD, all the horsepower that this machine is capable of. And it does seem really fast and quick, and all the games are looking beautiful on it. But if you don't really care about that much graphical fidelity and 4K 60 frames a second, 120 frames a second, then stick to your original Xbox One and get a PS5 maybe. PS5 has a new controller. They're releasing some games that are specifically made only for the PS5. I don't know why Xbox decided to go with this strategy, but one good thing about the Xbox ecosystem, if you've never gotten an Xbox before, is Game Pass is amazing. It's absolute value for money. You can pay $10 a month, play all the games you want. They have a great selection of games. So I think this is a great Game Pass system if you want to get into Xbox for the first time and check out what Xbox is all about. You know, this is going to be awesome. The Series S is probably going to be really good for you if you don't have a 4K TV as well. Don't get me wrong, the games look great on it. Valhalla looks amazing. Doom Eternal was playing ultra smooth. Forza looks phenomenal. But if you don't have the right kind of TV for it, you're probably not going to see the difference. Anyway guys, those are my thoughts on the Xbox Series X. If you like this video, hit that like button, leave me a comment, subscribe to watch more videos like this, and I will see you guys in the next one.